Good day, everyone. I am Elgin Ranieses, an admin staff of one of the province-owned hospitals in Cebu Province. I pursue my master's degree in public administration to strengthen my foundation in public governance and enhance my leadership skills, and understand how behavior and emotional intelligence affect or influence good decision-making. Now let's talk about my topic. Today I'll be discussing Module 6, Enhancing Leadership Through Psychology. Leadership is more than just directing people or giving instructions. Effective leadership requires understanding how people think, feel, and behave. This is where psychology becomes more essential. By applying psychological principles, leaders can improve communication, motivate employees, resolve conflicts, and make better decisions. In public administration, leadership directly affects the quality of service. Understanding human behavior allows leaders to build stronger teams, earn public trust, and create policies that serve communities. Now let's explore how psychology enhances leadership in governance. Psychology helps leaders understand why people behave the way they do and how those behaviors influence decision making. The first concept The first concept is psychology in decision making. Every leader makes decisions daily. However, decisions are not always purely logical because they are influenced by emotions, experiences, and personal biases. By understanding psychology, leaders become more aware of influences and can make more objective and evidence based decisions. For example, when implementing a new government program, leaders can use behavioral nudges such as sending reminder messages or simplifying application procedures to encourage greater public participation. By understanding psychology, leaders become more aware of those influences and can make more objective and evidence-based decisions. The second one is the emotional intelligence. It refers to the ability to recognize and manage our own emotions while understanding the emotions of others. A leader with high emotional intelligence listens carefully, remains calm during difficult situations, and resolves conflicts professionally. Lastly, psychology supports behavioral insights for policymaking. If policymakers know what motivates people, they can develop programs that are more likely to succeed. As leaders, it is also important to recognize that today's workforce and the people we serve came from various different generations. Each generation has values, unique communication styles, as well as motivations and expectations. Psychology helps leaders understand that these differences can affect decisions making. As future public administrators, we must understand that one leadership style does not fit for everyone. Psychological awareness helps leaders adjust their approach depending on the generation they are leading. Leadership can be practiced in different ways depending on the situation. The first one is the transformational leadership. It inspires people by creating a shared vision and encouraging motivation. Rather than focusing only on tasks, they motivate employees to achieve goals beyond expectations. The second is the transactional leadership. This style focuses on clear issues, responsibilities, rewards, and consequences. Employees understand exactly what is expected of them and good performance is rewarded while poor performance is corrected. This approach is effective when strict compliance with procedures is necessary, such as maintaining hospital safety protocols or financial accountability. The third is the servant leadership. Servant leaders place the needs of others before their own. They support, develop, and empower their employees so they can perform their best. This leadership style builds trust, collaboration, and employee satisfaction. Different leadership models are also effective for different generations. For example, for baby boomers, often respond well to transactional leadership because they appreciate clear structures, established rules, and recognition for their dedication. Psychology also provides practical tools that improve leadership. The first one is the feedback mechanism. Constructive feedback helps employees understand their strengths and identify areas for improvement. It also allows leaders to evaluate their own performance. Feedback should be timely, respectful, and focus on improvement rather than the criticism. The second tool is coaching and mentoring. Coaching develops specific skills while mentoring provides long-term guidance and professional growth. For example, experienced supervisors mentoring newly promoted public administrators will help ensure continuity in leadership and strengthen organizational capacity. The third tool is the conflict resolution. Conflicts are, of course, unavoidable in any organization. Effective leaders address disagreements as early as possible and encourage open communication to seek solutions and resolve conflict. Instead of allowing the conflict to grow, good leaders turn disagreements into opportunities for learning and collaboration. Behavioral tools should also be adjusted according to the generation being managed. For older employees, face-to-face coaching and formal mentoring may be more effective. For millennials and Generation C or Gen Z, regular feedback through digital platforms and collaborative discussions often produces better results. Psychology reminds us that while technology changes, the human need for understanding, motivation, and meaningful relationship remains constant. Next, we have the case studies of leadership tools. This presents practical applications of various tools used in the leadership. In local government, establishing feedback systems allows citizens to share concerns and suggestions, so this will improve transparency and public participation. Next, we have the mentoring programs. It helps future leaders while increasing employee confidence and retention. Conflict resolution strategies strengthen teamwork by encouraging dialogue instead of confrontation. Finally, structured decision-making frameworks. It will help improve leadership during emergencies because they enable leaders to respond quickly while making informed decisions. These examples show that psychological tools are not just theories, but practical strategies that will improve governance. Now, now let's discuss psychological principles commonly applied in public institutions. The first is the cognitive bias. It occurs when people make decisions based on assumptions or personal beliefs rather than objective evidence. One example is where leaders seek information that supports their existing opinions and ignoring contradictory evidence. To avoid this, leaders should consult multiple perspectives and rely on credible data before making decisions. The second principle is behavioral nudges. Rather than forcing compliance, nudges encourage desirable behavior through small changes of how choices are presented. The third principle is social proof. People are more likely to participate in programs when they see others are doing the same. For example, citizens are more willing to join environmental campaigns if they observe active participation from the community. As public institutions, Future leaders must prepare for the various generations such as Generation Alpha, Gen Z, Gen X, or baby boomers who will eventually become employees, public servants, and citizens. Psychology will play an important role in helping leaders understand how to communicate with younger generations while maintaining trust across all age groups.